Goes for the booming torpedo. Won't quite make the distance. Here's a chance for a kick off the ground. This is a goal. Great goal.
Peter Road, formerly of Carlton, down towards half forward. Harding was the flyer, got two hands to it, couldn't complete the mark. Chance now for Melbourne. Viney goes for the hand pass to Wilson, and that's Melbourne's first 30 seconds later.
Stretch is caught as they charge in after God. A lot of ability, Stephen Stretch. He's gone wide to Yates. Graham Yates from centre wing will go long. A beautiful drop punt. Harding gets back, cops one across the head. Umpire calls play on his Flintoff, and David Flintoff has popped it through.
Off the hands of Conley, picked up by Winmar. What can he do with it on this occasion? Beautiful ball, gets around 2, 3, loses it ultimately. Free kick, Winmar, his second. Winmar, 60 metres out, can kick it a long way, spirals it beautifully. Oh, what a magnificent kick! Oh, goal of the day! Sensational! McConville, fresh air shot. Campbell over the top, that was nearly a throw. Bennett, now Road, he could score from there, 20 metres out and puts it through.
5-3, plays 3-1, here they come again. This is Robert Harvey, Winmar, yes! Oh, Rod Grinter is going to have to play a lot closer than that. Winmar looking very, very dangerous down there. Nicky Winmar has already kicked one. A 75-metre kick. He's directly in front this time. It's a drop punt. It splits the centre for his second.
8 minutes left in the term, some 55 to 60 metres out. Spalding, snapshot, close. He might have got that. He has. Shuffled up towards the half-forward line for St Kilda. Now here's a chance for them again. Short pass. Is marked by Winmar.
That was a great passage of play. Now you've got to consider that that ball is not easy to handle now, and those St Kilda players handle the ball very, very cleanly. Good pass by England.
Winmar, some 50 metres out. He's right on the line. As a matter of fact, he's hooked that one a little bit, but it's straightening up. Maybe not enough. We're waiting on the goal umpire. It's a goal. Oh, Harding picked up by Wilson. Should be a goal if he's accurate, and he is. That's a great piece of roving by Brian Wilson. The Irishman kicks it off the ground. Dwyer gets the front position, looks for the hand pass, tried to find Harvey. Good tackle by Barker. Dwyer again. Excellent hand pass. Harvey into an open goal, shoots from 20 metres out and gets it.
So it was a good start by St Kilda, and at half-time they led by 28 points, 9 goals 7 to 5 goals 3. We're going to pick up tonight's replay in the third quarter. Just after half-time, there's been no addition to the score. In the commentary box, Peter Landy, Peter McKenna and Don Scott.
St Kilda's right forward pocket. A goal here. That's what Melbourne would not want. Rice tries to get through some pretty heavy traffic there. Hit Bowie on the chest with it. Winmar did well to get boot to ball. He might put it out in the full. In fact, he has done. And so it will be a free kick in the back pocket to Stephen Phoebe. Kick drops a little short. Wilson and Grant, the Flyers. Hand pass from Healy. Knock on by Lovett. And it's Brett Lovett up towards left centre wing. And the ball hoofed off the ground for the Demons by Todd Viney. It is out of bounds on centre wing.
Well, the Melbourne crowd becoming very vocal. Melbourne just haven't given the indication they're going to lift their work rate.
Steins and Lowe. Good tackle by Sean White. Viney. Hospital hand pass that one. Picked up by Stuart Lowe. His kick is up towards right half forward.
Chris Conley is the man coming out to take the mark on screen. Over to Stretch. Stretch is a beautiful kick. David Grant couldn't take the mark. And he'll get the loose one. Oh, this is Harvey. He's been a top player. Beautiful kick out wide to Dwyer. Bowie's calling for it. Also Winmar. Winmar underneath it. Phoebe goes back. And Three Juggles has taken a nice mark. But it was a poorly directed kick on that occasion. Towards half-back. That's Tingay. Oh, doubtful hand pass. Dwyer picks up. Hooks it back to half-forward. There's only one man there, though, and that's Steins. Steins kicks it around the outer wing. The man who kicked it was Viney. He's found Healy. Greg Healy to half forward. Low at the back. But chipping across in front, taking a great mark is Sean White. Now, with the slippery conditions, even though he's only about 40 metres out.
That was a classic wet weather mark, to touch it as he did and then to bring it down onto the chest to make sure.
Let's see if he can make the distance. Won't be easy. There's the drop punt. Oh, not a bad looking kick. It comes back. It's a goal.
Dealers of Australia are proud to announce the new Holden Apollo, a whole new range of family sedans and wagons with all new 2-litre twin-cam engines. New Holden Apollo. See them at your Holden dealer now.
That's it. Had enough. I understand you've worked all your life and you can't afford a holiday.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere but here.
Okay, let's do it.
What with?
Read this.
You've got this much? We've got this much? How did we do this?
It's called savings, Dan. Remember, savings comes before spending.
Bit of interest.
Every day of the year.
I can't take this. You saved it. It's your money.
No, it's our money, Stan.
For a minimum deposit of $50, a State Bank investment account allows you to watch your money grow while you earn high interest calculated daily, and your money's at call.
Seems a shame to spend it.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
State Bank investment account. We never forget. It's your money.
Our 10-month interest-free plan at Fussy Furniture means that for the price of this, you can take home this. Or for the price of this, you can take home all this. 10% deposit gets you the 100% look, all for no more than you'd pay at any other store, guaranteed. 10% deposit, no interest for 10 months. Because the furniture you want is what we're fussiest about.
The perfect Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. This week in the Sunday Herald Colour magazine, the world's endangered animals pictured for posterity. A spectacular portfolio. Wonderful photographs you'll want to keep. The perfect Sunday. And in the Perfect Sunday newspaper, Quiet Country Boy or Crazy Man of Football, the real Tony Lockett tells all. Our man on the spot reports from the Olympic meeting in Puerto Rico, rock star Ignatius Jones' hilarious review of Andy Warhol. Perfect Sunday with the Sunday Herald.
Into the centre. Melbourne into attack again. Lowe takes the kick from Coghlan. Bowie spins around beautifully in the mud. It's all Melbourne though down there. 4 Melbourne players are there. Winmar has to battle them. In fact, there's about 6. So the Demon, purely through weight of numbers, should be able to win out. This is Rice. Did he keep the ball in play? Yes, he did. Not for very long. It came off Russo's hands. And it's out of bounds. So boundary throw-in at the right half-forward flank for St Kilda. Steins and Harding. Over the top was Steins. On the shoulder, says the umpire. And those I can never see. Paul Harding, who's rumoured to be returning to Western Australia next year. Barker missed one at the back of the pack. Yates off the ground in front of Ingleton. That covered about 35 metres. Harvey. Burke. Nathan Burke still inside the square. Couldn't possibly score from there under these conditions. We'll go for the long kick to try to get it down to Winmar. Rice is there. Lovett. Will he kick it off the ground? He thought about it. Bowie. Nice little left foot snapshot. That's pretty close. I think he's dobbed it. He has. It's through. Bowie's second goal.
Well, I suppose you might have to question the effort of Brett Lovett on that occasion. As I said, there's just not the urgency about Melbourne's game, and that's hard to understand because they're in a very difficult position. You see him trying to kick the ball off the ground. I may have gone or try to put the hands down, but anyway, it finished up with young Bowie, and it was good to see.
Back into the centre. Bowie's second goal, and the Saints doing it well. Russo.
And, well, they really are doing it well. It's a good mark, though, taken by Phoebe. It's a couple of good marks he's taken on Winmar. Nicky Winmar, well, he's been a match winner so far with his 4 goals. Oh, well done, Winmar. Open goal. Oh, that could be a free kick.
Yes, it is.
Holding the man. So this will be a free kick to Winmar about 6 metres out from goal, going for goal number 5. Would have been a certain goal anyway, and Phoebe didn't have much chance. He didn't have to do something there, straight in the back. And Winmar looks up. Well, Nicky Winmar shouldn't miss this one. And what a lead that'll be. That'll be 5 goals 4 lead if he can put this one through. There's the kick, straight through the middle.
5 goals to Winmar.
And Melbourne still bringing the changes. Darren Bennett back on the ground and Andy Lovell off. And I thought when they bridged the gap after that goal from Sean White, 21 points of difference, it was only a matter of 3 kicks. But as we've said, Melbourne have just surrendered that deficit. It's now gone out even further. 24 points of difference. 34, I'm sorry. I'll have to go back to school.
Well, back to the centre, 6-3 plays. 6-3 plays 11-7. And St Kilda very impressive. I said at half-time that they really have wanted the ball a little bit better than Melbourne. That's Sheldon, who's played a fine game, getting it towards half-back, but Flintoff is there for Melbourne.
Flintoff's kick will land inside 50 on a lead. Bennett, haven't seen anything of him today. Frawley's kept him pretty well kickless, I'd suggest. Well, that's Danny Frawley. Now for Melbourne, it's Brett Lovett to Greg Healy. Healy right on 50. Melbourne really needs something at the moment. Oh, hit the post. That would have been a miraculous goal. White was streaming in to try to take it, and Healy just shaved the post as it went through. So a behind makes the difference now 33 points at the MCG. Peter McConville will kick in. The man that has had so many injury problems, and seemingly most of them since he went to St Kilda. Spalding went for the knockaway. Stephen Stretch rows the pack well. He's a good kick, this fellow. Kicked into the mat on the mark. Frawley will get there first. Tackled by Bennett. Frawley taps it out wide for Rice. A very tidy player. Straight ahead to Russo. Can't take the mark. Yates. Russo again. Will look for a hand pass. Tried to get it to Fode. Not successful. Lovett out the stretch. Brushes one tackle. That was well played. 55 out. Long kick into the square. Lamb and Campbell. Oh, gee, is that deliberate? No, says the umpire. Must have been very close. Campbell was certainly looking for it. I've seen worse paid. Bennett and Frawley. McConville over the back. Healy, always dangerous, close to goal. Could set this one up. Hughes, right footer, looks good. It's close. And a goal.
Now that's a culmination of them starting to get a little bit of urgency into their game, Melbourne. They look a little bit better then. The players going about their work a little quicker. That was a great hand pass here by Greg Healy. Watch this, the left hand. A classic handball, real crisp and clean and quick. And Danny Hughes, an ugly kick off the boot, but a quick one, a very accurate one.
7-4 plays 11-7, so 4-3 the difference. But Melbourne, as Don Scott said, far more urgency about their game now. I thought their first half performance was very lacklustre. Harding against Spalding. Spalding taps it back over his head. It's on centre wing with Sean White. Sockers it off the ground towards Hughes. Hughes cleverly tries to tap it back. Good skills, Nathan Burke. Bowie, good use of the body too. Young Brett Bowie still trying to tap it out. And the umpire said he was in possession.
Well, at least the umpire's consistent. He was trying to get it on Bowie, couldn't. We've seen other players penalised for the same thing today.
Yeah, fair enough decision, that one. This is Flintoff on centre wing with a torpedo punt kick. Well, it travels a fair distance too. Or Spalding almost took a good wet weather mark. There's a quick kick down towards half forward. Grabbed by Viney on the left. Oh, don't tell me he's kicked this. What a great goal by Viney.
Yeah, Years of driving can take a terrible toll on your car. Your windshield cracks, the paint chips, and there's always the inevitable ding or two. But thanks to the remarkable technology in new BP Visco 2000 motor oil, there is a part of your car you can protect, your engine. Use new BP Visco 2000 and your engine just may outlast your car. BP, on the move.
The Sunday Sun Plus. On the eve of the 50th anniversary of World War II, we remember the Australian men who volunteered first and the women of war.
Plus, the Sunday Sun looks at the sensational Bob Dylan biography that explores his life, his women, his music. Plus, in the free TV magazine, a pin-up of Colette.
Plus, top sports coverage includes our Magic Marks competition with big weekly prizes. Sunday Sun.
It's everything you love about the Sun Plus.
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks. No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
If you want an aftershave that's a winner, go for Gold. Yardley Gold. The aftershave for men who like to win. Yardley Gold.
In 1555, somehow he saw our time. Vision so accurate, shocking. 10 years ago, one of Australia's highest-rated programs amazed everyone with his predictions. Since then, how many more have come true? And how many are yet to be fulfilled?
The war is in July 1999.
John Waters takes you from now through World War III and beyond.
Huge flame leaps up.
Nostradamus, the final chapter, premieres Sunday on 7.
Quick goals. Only 21 points the difference now as the Demons fight back. And the kick off the ground has been marked by Flintoff. He's put it out wide for Bennett. First touch for the day. Danny Frawley has kept him possessionless. A goal here would make things very interesting. Melbourne would be right back in it. He'll get the distance. He's an excellent kick. Well, he got the distance all right, but it wasn't an excellent kick. So one behind. And Melbourne badly needed goals. So still 20 points in it. But the Demons back in with a sniff at least. Sheldon. Out wide. Hughes takes the mark. Badly directed kick. He was trying to find McConville. And Danny Hughes can kick the ball a long way.
Why is it, Peter, that one team can take over as Melbourne have done earlier with St Kilda? It's a matter of minutes, isn't it?
Danny Hughes, about 53 metres out from goal. Misses to the far side, one behind. So two successive behinds kicked by Bennett and Hughes. 8-6 to 11-7. And the difference is now 19 points after it was 28 points at half-time.
And most importantly, though, they're doing all the attacking. What a brilliant mark by Bennett. He was completely out of position then. Now he's gone short. He's got a loose man in Spalding, and all of a sudden Melbourne players are in space.
Well, he's no closer to goal, but the angle not as acute as Bennett's.
Well, Spalding won't make the distance from there. He's not a long kick. Unless he gets onto a torpedo punt, which he goes for the booming one. Doesn't quite get there. In front of goal, here's danger. Oh, Healy went for the soccer off the ground. Bennett's in there for Melbourne. The umpire will come in and throw it up. Now, St Kilda would be wise to try and tap this through for a behind, I think. Peter Carey and Mike Snedden with the job of umpiring today. Oh, that's tapped down beautifully to Tingay over to Flintoff. Flintoff hooks it back over his head, but he drifts it wide and out of bounds on the full.
He wouldn't have had too many possessions, Bennett, but he's very, very accurate with his hit-outs. Now, he has been responsible for a couple of goals today. And that was a great hit-out.
Well, this is Jamie Lamb. 4 kicks and one handball. Started centre half back on Spalding. And he's not a big build of a guy, Jamie Lamb, so he finds the key positions difficult. Now, this is Healy. Great play, Healy. From 50 metres, straightens up. But going back to take a safe mark is the ever-reliable Danny Frawley.
He's done a great job today. Frawley's short pass intended for McConville. Backup support from Lamb, who nearly runs out of room and out of bounds. And it is off the hands finally of Rice to trouble the boundary umpire. 53 metres out from the Melbourne goal. The Demons doing all the attacking in the third quarter. After, as Don Scott said, a lacklustre performance from them in the opening half. They can only improve. They are doing that. So the Saints gain about 2 metres. But a much better effort from the Demons in this third quarter. Under 11 minutes left in the term. Well, clean bowls Viney. Picked up by Harvey. Out to Burke. In turn on to Rice at the right half-back flank. The centering kick. And that's effective. It's marked by Lowe. Right on centre wing. The Saints now swing into attack. They haven't been into attack much this quarter. And certainly in the last few minutes. Peter Russo looking for a free kick. I don't think it's going his way, though. It's going to Melbourne Stephen Tingay. Tingay to midfield and Spalding, who's come into his own in the third quarter. The hand pass is out and effective. And on the run down there for the Demons, that was picked up by Connolly. St Kilda defending desperately. This is Sheldon, rumoured as the next coach. Probably be the worst kept secret in Melbourne. Down goes Brinter. That might have been a square up or something that happened earlier. And an obvious free kick.
Tony Campbell now on the half-back line from Melbourne, picking up the smaller Peter Russo.
It's like Campbell on the forward line. He seems to do his best things up there. This is Bowie at midfield. Awkward-looking kick.
Oh, good mark. Good mark.
Taken by Stephen Phoebe out to Connolly. Connolly from left half-back flank. Keeps the ball on the member stand flank. Oh, strong grab. Now let's see if he can do something with it. Tingay, winning goal earlier in the year against Fitzroy. Harding went up one-handed. Healy has had a good third quarter, but that's a bad hand pass. And picked up by Fode to Harvey to Nathan Burke. Now towards centre wing. The marker's been taken by Todd Viney.
Viney is a blonde last year when he played. He's now different coloured hair. There's a free kick to McConville. Little pushing out, the umpire said, umpire Mike Snedden. Peter McConville is going short around the boundary line to Jamie Lamb. Oh, taps it back cleverly to Burke. Nathan Burke has been a good player today. To half forward to Lowe. Oh, working hard, Stuart Lowe. Mick Dwyer's got it. Good play. Over to Rice. Then back to Dwyer. That's great football. Winmar. And he's got a loose man in Bowie if he can get it there. Oh, bad kick, Winmar. The intention was right. Bowie was loose. But Yates got back and the kick went straight to him. Now, out wide. Little things starting to go Melbourne's way now. They're playing better. Flintoff and Harvey. Good play, Harvey, as he taps it back to Harding. Harding over the top. Further afield it comes. Here's Harvey again. He's been an excellent player today, young Robert Harvey. A little chip pass, and it's a beautiful one. Finds Barker. They could do with a goal just to steady the ship here, St Kilda. Barker up to... Oh, great mark by Lowe. Oh, what a strong mark, Don Scott.
Well, he is a strong mark, Peter. We saw him start off with marks in the first quarter. And Jim Stein should have punched that ball. Watch this on replay here. Stein's just not quite getting there. Just not quite getting there. Maybe a little unkind. But it was a good mark by Stuart Lowe. He leads the marking with Stephen Kernahan in the VFL.
Well, probably the two best marks in the game, Kernahan and Lowe. But this is Stuart Lowe. Now, this is where he normally lets himself down. Let's hope for his sake he can kick this. And he has put it through.
And doesn't he look like Basil Fawlty, the goal umpire down that end? I just noticed him as he signalled to the goal then. And there he is on screen. Gee, a remarkable likeness, isn't it? I wonder if he's as funny. And here it is. A strong mark. It's interesting that he takes has taken as many marks, Stuart Lowe, as what Stephen Kernahan. Different types of mark. Kernahan gets off the ground, but he is very, very strong.
So Stuart Lowe finally putting it through for a goal, and a valuable one for St Kilda, 54-79. Game coming alive in the third quarter and sets it up certainly for a great last quarter. Stretch. Lamb looks for the hand pass. McConville over the top, effective to Sheldon. Sheldon to Nathan Burke, who marks, I think, just inside the boundary. Burke at the defensive 50-metre mark. Goes inboard with the kick. Finds Harding. And Paul Harding decides to play on. Didn't really look where he was kicking that. Off the hands of Harvey. Now a chance for Brett Lovett. Dispossessed pretty quickly. Coughlin pounces on it expeditiously. The umpire has set a push, and it's going to be a free kick to Lovett. St Kilda supporters understandably not happy.
Oh, shocker.
Tingay. Steins. Well, McConville just happened to be standing there. Short pass. Stretch did well. Flintoff. Out to Grinter. And this time it's Sheldon again. With the whitest pair of shorts on the ground. They won't be white for very long. Ball doesn't bounce too kindly for Yates. Sock it away. For St Kilda up towards their 50-metre mark. Harvey. Winmar from a standing start virtually. Turns, spins, shoots and goals. Great stuff.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good. You've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. Gillette.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
What's that, mate? That table's broke. Leave it to me. And they thought they'd be stuck there all day.
Nissan Patrol with Nissan's exclusive 2-year warranty. The best four-wheel drive down under.
It's unbelievable.
That's my car.
Get into it. Get into it. Get onto it. Get into it.
Be on the ball. Get behind your team and wear the official licensed VFL supporters gear. The complete range is now available at your game. Get into your team colours at the game shop and show your true colours. Look for the game shop marquee at your game and get right into it.
Jack Thompson wrecked on a desert island with Raquel Welch. She's outraged. He thinks he's in paradise. Movie premiere, Monday on 7. Betty Brainbuster strikes again. What's happened?
I wet my bed.
And those wogs out of work chuck a shower seek in Hey Dad at Acropolis now, Wednesday.
Here's the Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
And away they go, the Saints again. 5-1 they lead by. Brett Lovett. And towards half forward, this is Todd Viney, almost caught. Hand passes it to Hughes. Hughes, a hurried kick. Jamie Lamb has really picked up his game. And he's playing a very good quarter for St Kilda, Jamie Lamb. There he is on screen. There's not much of him, as you can see up top.
Spalding now playing at centre-half back on low. I think that Steins was there. I don't know whether they were changing their ruckman, Melbourne, at centre-half back.
Well, all of a sudden, St Kilda have picked up again. This is Dean Rice getting it to Burke. Burke the Winmar. Let's see what Nicky Winmar can do. He might up with this. No. It's a loose ball. Here's St Kilda, though, with a chance through Dwyer. Mick Dwyer tries to hand pass around the boundary line, but smothered off his hands and over the line. It's at half forward for St Kilda. They lead 13-7 to 8-6. And it's been a fine display by the Saints. There's Lowe. Oh, good hit out too. Finds Harvey. Russo, grabbed by Spalding. In goes Connolly. A quick hand pass to Steins. Steins, a hurry kick. That's a free kick. We'll have to go to Melbourne and Stephen Stretch at half back.
Stretch with the free. As we get close to three-quarter time, a few minutes to go. Stretch always a try for the Demons. Sheldon, an effective punch, at least to get it away from an opponent. He knocks it back again. Viney, well tackled. Hurried hand pass. White can almost handle it. Off the ground from Danny Hughes. Wilson. Harding steals it. It was a bad hand pass. And the Saints through Ben Ingleton will get clear. Ingleton up towards the running Dwyer, just off the edge of the square. It's pretty wet outside that part. Oh! Lowe has flattened the Melbourne player. It's Grindick.
He missed him.
Or did he? The book's coming out, but Grindick bounces up like a rubber ball.
No, he wouldn't have got up if he had hit him.
He didn't hit him.
He got the free kick. It stopped St Kilda's run.
Academy Award performance.
Flintoff down towards half forward. And the Demons will have to make something of this. Close to three-quarter time through Yates. McConville chips in beautifully for the mark. Out to Sheldon. St Kilda answering the challenge. He's gone out very, very wide. He's got the running Bowie.
He's playing well, Pete.
There's Lowe. Getting the boos of the crowd, but it would appear not needed or not necessary. Lowe in front. Harvey. Oh, strong mark.
This kid is going to be a champion. I'll name him now. I'll tell you what, he is a real good player.
6 marks, 14 kicks.
Well, great effort by young Harvey as it's punched away. Here's a chance for Melbourne to take it away as Rode receives from Healy. Rode to the centre of the ground, and the mark has been taken there by Viney. But Melbourne, they really, well, they've tried hard in this quarter, but they haven't gained anything on the scoreboard. Short kick has found Flintoff. Melbourne will have to improve their form coming up to the finals. They have had a lot of injuries, of course. There's Bennett flying from behind. You won't outmark Frawley from over the back. It's McConville wide to Harding, who's battled pretty manfully today, Paul Harding. Round the boundary line he goes. It's all Melbourne. Those Stretch has probably been Melbourne's best player. Got terrific skill, Stephen Stretch. It's a lovely kick. Oh, that's a bad one, though. He had about 20 options, and he kicked it straight to Nathan Burke. Now, Burke, a wobbly one. Stretch waits at the back. It's punched down to Viney. Clever hand pass finds Steins. Hurried kick to centre half forward. Jason Daniels is on the ground. Good shepherding by David Grant. That was good team play. Daniels wide to Nathan Burke. The young players combining. Over to Jamie Lamb, who's had a great quarter. Mick Dwyer, great smother. Back at bad hand pass, straight to Danny Hughes. Hughes to Lovett. Brett Lovett shuffles out a hand pass towards half forward. Coughlin. And St Kilda really working hard. Here's Stuart Lowe up in front. Nearly took a difficult mark. Oh, look at that by Harvey. Magnificent. Touches it on the ground. Oh, boy, is that champagne football to Winmar.
Winmar kicked a magnificent goal from here in the first quarter when the ground was a little drier, Peter, but it's now raining again. He spiralled it through. It must have travelled 70 metres with a wet ball in heavier conditions.
Well, he's kicked 6. I'll back him again.
He's got the distance, not the accuracy, it would appear. It's a behind or out about. It's a behind. Kicked by Nicky Winmar as the rain gets heavier, close to three-quarter time. 32 points the difference. It was 28 at half-time. So St Kilda, after Melbourne got to within 19 points, have fought back. Earl Spalding has the mark. Ball finally booted up. The rain gets heavier. That came from Peter Rode. Number 12 is Todd Viney. 29 is Nathan Burke. Burke's played well this afternoon as well. Harding in front. Viney sidesteps almost nicely, then runs into trouble. Flintoff is going to get a free kick, I think, for a trip. As Daniels and Campbell obviously show their dislike for each other. Flintoff with the free kick on left centre wing. I don't think there'll be any chance for further scores because we've only got about a quarter minute to play left in this third term. It's dark and wet once again at the MCG. That was a brilliant knock-on for Melbourne by Hughes. As the siren goes for three-quarter time, Frawley comes up with the ball, but it won't matter. And the scoreboard at the MCG with 1 quarter remaining, the Saints leading 13-8, 86 to the Demons 86-54.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
Well, that was a great victory to the Saints. They led by 21 at quarter time, 28 points at half time, 32 points at three-quarter time, and even last quarter, and they ran out winners by 32 points. Winmar kicked 9 goals. He's kicked 17 in the last 2 weeks. And for Melbourne, Wilson kicked 4 goals. And that assures Melbourne will be in the elimination final in a fortnight's time. Terrific to see Darryl Baldock break through for a win after 11 straight losses. Well, without further ado, we go to the match at Kardinia Park between Geelong and North Melbourne. The Cats, of course, last week over in Perth had their biggest loss for the season, and North Melbourne had beaten them in the first round. Mark Arceri was supposed to have returned for North, but he was a last-minute withdrawal replaced by Jason Love. Well, Geelong fought to win by 4 points, or lead by 4 points at quarter time. We pick it up in the second quarter with about 10 minutes remaining to half-time, and the Cats at this stage lead by 9 points. With me in the commentary position are Bernie Quinlan and Ian Robertson. Back with umpire Dennis Rich in the middle, and Flanagan murdering him in the ruck. Comes down to Buse. Cameron in front. Punch from behind. Ball comes down to McDonald. His hand pass is blocked. Gary Hocking takes one high. Umpire said the ball's held in there. He's going to ball it up.
Oh, I bet Peter German's heart was in his mouth.
This is down there when Hocking just coming up from picking up the ball when German applied that tackle.
Flanagan hands to it again. Schwass kick smothered. Comes to Scott. Loses it in the tackle. Great desperation, Cameron. Well, Bruns missed it. Tunnels it out. Intercepted by Steele. The umpire might have... He's going to ball that up back here. It was costly for North Melbourne because Steele's kick's gone up the ground about 50 metres.
It's a bit of a strange one there, usually when the ball does find its way free, but I guess the umpire, with his whistle in his mouth, really couldn't stop. 9 points, Geelong's lead. The bounce right on the corner of the centre square in Geelong's attacking half. Scott running onto it, couldn't really take the ball with him. German can, and around his body, Peter German kicks it towards centre wing. Clean bowls Bruns. Now a chance for Ramiro, who's done pretty well. His kicking is letting him down a little bit. This is not a bad left foot kick by Jose Ramiro. Up towards half forward, Fairley. Favoured by the bounce, Fairley, as he kicked goal number 4. It looks okay from here, yes.
He's doing a good job at centre half forward too. Ian Fairley, 3 goals in the first quarter. Playing on Billy Brownless. And I think that Geelong defence would be causing Malcolm Blight a few worries. Billy Brownless, I don't think he is a centre half back. I did like the Geelong setup earlier in the season with Schulz at centre half back and Darcy at full back. I think Brownless is better on the forward line.
After a 5 or 6 minute shower, the rain has stopped, the sun shining brightly. And not much in this now, just 3 points. Hughes, with strength, breaks a couple of tackles. Long to centre half forward. Lindner. McCarthy beats him for the punch. Comes to Bruns. On the left boot. Puts it wide. Exel thrusts at it. Can't mark. Romero over his head. It comes to Hughes again. Keeps it low. On the chest of Couch. Plays on. Blazes and misses. Paul Couch.
Magnificent play there from Andrew Buse. Worked very hard out of the centre. Won the ball with strength and then ran on into that forward line to provide assistance.
German kicks the ball into this member's side, looking out here for Bryce, who's made pretty good position, and he takes the mark at half back, looking perhaps to give the hand pass. Now goes back and kicks a nice looking drop punt kick too towards centre wing, and look at that, as easy as you like. The champion takes the mark, Gary Ablett on centre wing. Ablett just gets a little close to kick it on the mark and kicks it high towards half forward. Oh, good play by Gary Hocking. He's dispossessed pretty well, though, by McCarthy. Now Steele Schwass. Off it goes to Larkin. Larkin short kick out towards Kickett. Brownless. Handball. Ablett running through. One bounce. Ablett, nearly tackled. He was by Bryce, but he gets the kick away towards full forward. In that forward pocket. A real struggle now. Flanagan. The ball comes to Gary Cameron. He can't break away. Desperation stuff there by the North Melbourne defence, and they hold it in. Umpire will be forced to bounce.
Like a throw there from Lindner. Very slick hand pass. Beat the eye, I think, that one.
Yeah, lightning. Flanagan clean possession and a snap for goal which misses. And hasn't he dominated the rucks? Geelong winning 22-9 hit-outs. And he has a chance to perhaps play in a premiership team. Big chance for a grand final anyway. Not bad for a bloke who retired earlier in the season. Peter German towards the outer side. Schwass stays down. McDonald has the ball punched away. Have to dash back in defence for this. Bairstow's there for Geelong, but couldn't keep it in.
Just under 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Boundary throw in on the 50-metre line. Flanagan and Bryce. And a hard man to get over the top of Flanagan if you let him get in front. Larkin just tries to kick it to himself. Crash goes young Stevens. And the umpire's picked out a free kick. I couldn't see what that was for.
He paid it to Bruns, has he?
Well, it's going to Geelong. It must have been a hand pass after the free kick was given, but it was so quick that maybe the player didn't appreciate what he had to do. Still, they're professional footballers. McDonald diving, couldn't control the football. Comes to Larkin. Larkin up towards centre wing, trying to get past Couch. Now he's forced to kick high towards centre half forward. It goes to the back. Sweeping on it is Fairley. He gets the hand pass back to Pickering. Here's German. Through centre half forward goes Peter German and kicks the goal.
And that goal's put North Melbourne in front by a point. So they're proving very hard to shake off as Damien Burke comes back on the ground. And I think Malcolm Blight with a few worries at the moment. North Melbourne doing it far too easily up on that forward line. German running through centre half forward there. No pressure at all being applied by the Geelong defenders. And once they get their running game going, they're fairly hard to stop, North Melbourne.
And Peter German kicked in from the Geelong behind.
North Melbourne have kicked the last 3 goals to hit the front. Burke on the ground now, as is usual, at about the 20-minute mark. Larkin, a great hand pass to Schwass. Long to full forward. Longmire is down there. Schulz misses with the punch. It comes to the back to Darcy. And he's happy to run it through for a behind. Hepburn coming back onto the ground to replace Paul Bryce. So Bryce had a run for about 15 minutes in the second quarter. Kick in by Tim Darcy. Margin 8 points. Excellent mark out there to Burke, just on the ground. Off to Morgan. In a hurry, had to get rid of it. Trouble for Bairstow. Flipped out of there by Schwass. Comes to German. North lifting their game. Longmire, spoiled by Schulz. There's a free kick. Defender held out of it. And Tim Darcy with the free.
Looks as though it may have gone against Darren Crocker, who was expressing a bit of disappointment with the decision. The ball finishes with Bairstow at half-back. His kick towards centre wing. Ablett. Great play by David Dwyer, but look at the bounce of the ball there favouring Scott. His hand pass into the centre. Here's Gary Cameron. Gary Cameron up towards full forward. A nice-looking drop punt kick. Exel finishes with Buse, and Buse kicks a magnificent goal for the Cats.
There's good roving there by Andrew Buse. Also good work from Gary Cameron. I thought David Dwyer may have been a little bit unfortunate not to get that free kick. Showed tremendous courage on the wing, diving on the ball, and a Geelong player then falling over the top of him, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Taken down in that Geelong forward line. Buse, a tremendous player for Geelong.
Burke in the ruck to give Flanagan a bit of a rest. I think if I was Darren Flanagan, I'd be wanting to get as much ruck play as I could. Couch out to Bruns. Bruns' left foot kick. Exel been paid. And he gets up off the ground a little disgusted with Johnny Law's treatment. But Exel has the ball about 45 metres from goal. It was a pretty good mark in the finish.
Well, it's a good lead there by Exel.
And Exel, who was already kicked 3. Great drop punt kick. She's now kicked 4.
Yes, here's a beautiful kick for goal, Gavin Exel. Had a fairly good season, even though he spent a few weeks in the reserves. That's 4 goals today for a season's total of 58. To be Geelong's leading goal kicker. There's a left foot kick by Bruns. And it's good to see a forward leading the way Exel does. He's committed on those leads. Look at that kick for goal from the 50-metre line. Made it easily. 10 metres to spare.
Sometimes you get the feeling that the Cats take their foot off the accelerator, and every now and again the panic button is pushed and away they go. They've kicked the last 2 and they lead by 10 points. Advantage rule is paid. Gary Cameron's kicking towards the half-forward area. Ablett crashing his way through, can't take the football with him. Dwyer's kick back into the centre, and the mark has been taken by Hepburn. He hand passes wide. Ross Smith from a standing start kicks it towards centre half-forward. There's no one home there for North Melbourne, and a good mark taken by Brownless at centre half-back for the Cats.
Taken a couple of marks. He's specialised in hand passing. Punch down to the front. McCarthy puts it wide for Steele. Steele to half forward. Knocked out of there by Boss. Comes to German. Down goes Darcy. The ball goes out of play and we'll have a boundary throw in. Because I've had the feeling a few times that Geelong, anytime they want to, can really step on the gas and get away. But, well, North Melbourne have hit the front in the first quarter and in the second quarter. Different times when it looks as though they might be getting out of their depth. Hand pass by Brownless, intercepted by his opponent Fairley, but Fairley's kick marked by Stephen Hocking. Gets the hand pass away. Any amount of Geelong players. Couch takes it. His left footer is brilliant. Ablett's down there at half forward. Dwyer got a hand to it, which was important. Ablett comes out with it. The hand pass to Scott. Robert Scott for goal. Great football.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good. You've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion. Gillette.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
Hey, that wasn't. Never thought you'd get rid of your old bus.
Yeah, well, it was all right till you had to carry something. But I'll tell you what, mate. Bit of guts under the bonnet doesn't go astray.
Eh? Oh, much of a muchness these days.
Don't you believe it?
Be with you in a sec.
Okay.
You must be doing all right then.
If I charged like you, I'd be doing a lot better.
So, you happy with it?
What do you reckon?
Sorry. You know how it is. It's a bit wet over there. Bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks.
No, let me. Waiter, drinks all around.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
Get into it. Get into it. Get onto it. Get into it.
Be on the ball. Get behind your team and wear the official licensed VFL supporters gear. The complete range is now available at your game. Get into your team colours at the game shop and show your true colours. Look for the game shop marquee at your game
and get right into it.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7 nightly news, North Melbourne.
My time is very precious, so I need a news service that's concise and to the point.
You get the feeling that Sandy, Landy and Drew love their sport as much as we do.
I think credibility is very important, but so is innovation.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
A tight first half. North hit the front a couple of times. It was just 3 goals late in the second quarter that saw the Cats lead by 17 points at half-time. We pick up the replay again at the start of the second half, the opening bounce. Umpire John Russo starting the second half. Geelong leading by 17 points. Hepburn wins a rare one in the ruck. It comes down to Pickering. The kick to half forward. Romero inside 50. Darcy charging at it. Well, he and Boss nearly mucked it up. Darcy back to Boss. Wide to Brownless. Round the corner. Ablett on the wing. Knocked over by Dwyer, and Dwyer's given away the free, grabbing Ablett when he didn't have it. Gary Ablett, 3 goals from the wing in the first half. His kick to half forward. McDonald with Stoneham. Stoneham clever to Bairstow. Bairstow's had the fumbles a bit today. From the 50-metre line. The kick up high. Exel. Law got to the front. Lindner on the turn. Beats 1, beats 2. Snaps for goal. In the goal square is Scott. But the punch away comes from Smith into the behind post and will have a throw in. So Geelong quickly into attack to start the second half. Bright sunshine after we had a spell of rain in the second quarter. Flanagan's done a great job. Clean possession. Snap for goal. Offline. And it bounces out of bounds for a throw in. So still Geelong with a chance. They lead 10-9 to 8 goals 4. Once again, Flanagan knocks it towards goal, but out of bounds again for our third boundary throw-in next to the behind post in the space of a minute. Hepburn and Flanagan. Hepburn up high, helped on by Smith, but it goes to Lindner. Dodges, weaves, goes back with a hand pass. Runs from 45 metres. Might make it. Shepherded through by Exel for a goal.
Good start to Geelong. North Melbourne needed to get into this game early in this third quarter if they would have a chance. Lindner looked like he should have been caught red hot there. A bad tackle applied by North Melbourne. And Lindner was able to get that hand pass away to Bruns. But North Melbourne should have done better there in defence. Just didn't apply that tackle properly.
Good start to the second half by the Cats. Punch forward by Hepburn. Now the kick by Brownless. Towards half forward, a good mark taken by Bairstow, about 55 metres from goal. Players seem to be kicking longer distances down to this left-hand end of Kardinia Park. And Bairstow, a little undecided. This ball holds up to the front of the square. Exel can't mark. Stoneham, snap across his body is brilliant.
There's great play there by Barry Stoneham. Tall, mobile player playing at centre-half forward. He's a very good hind mark, an excellent ground player, and has great mobility for a player of his size.
And Bernie, one of the most improved players, particularly in the last 12 months in the competition.
Without doubt. Without doubt, he'd be vying now at centre-half forward to be one of the better centre-half forwards in the competition.
Well, they've ripped into North Melbourne to start this third quarter and have a big break now, 81-52. Gary Hocking was tripped, said the umpire, and he'll take the free kick. So everything going Geelong's way at the moment. 12-9 to 8 goals 4. North badly needed the first goal or two this quarter, but they've gone the other way. Quite firm in the centre. Hocking out to half forward flank. Lindner with a break and outmarks McCarthy. And Bruce Lindner, goalless so far. This distance probably test him too much. Oh, what a kick! Just floated away to the right at the end. Brings up a behind. The distance was never a bother.
Well, he kicked that a mile, Bruce Lindner. Now well on top of John McCarthy, who's only had 4 possessions for the day.
Johnny Law. North Melbourne defence under lots of pressure the early part of this third quarter. Again, here's another chance. Gary Cameron. Left foot kick, swings with the breeze. Another goal to Geelong.
Where do millions of jets, helicopters, planes, trains and trucks go when they're low on fuel? The same place you do. BP. BP on the move.
I don't know, Jono. Have a look at this. The car's got a whole computer system that actually tells you what's wrong with it. And those backyard boys, I think it's just a question of changing a couple of these, I don't know. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you better look at the distributor cap. Could be cracked. It's probably non-genuine too.
Yeah, doing that.
Commodore's all finished. Have a listen to this.
Love it.
If you're in business, you want advertising that works. Melbourne Big Survey phones are monitoring results in businesses like Custom Tone Kitchens, whose results were immediate. Over 100 calls in 76 days. Paul Agnew placed ads in 2 classifications and says they've performed well beyond expectations. Over 30 calls a week. Is it any wonder Mike Scott calls the Melbourne Big the blue chip directory? Make sure that Melbourne Big is working for your business. Phone right now on 6464 666.
Near the gateway to one of the world's most famous harbours is one of the world's most famous fish restaurants, Doyle's. Here they serve only the freshest fish and seafood. But whether you pick the finest John Dory, a succulent charcoal grilled lobster, or the legendary seafood platter, make sure you have plenty of time and your Visa card, because you can't rush eating at Doyle's and you can't pay with American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
The Sunday Sun Plus. On the eve of the 50th anniversary of World War II, we remember the Australian men who volunteered first and the women of war.
Plus, the Sunday Sun looks at the sensational Bob Dylan biography that explores his life, his women, his music. Plus, in the free TV magazine, a pin-up of Colette.
Plus, top sports coverage includes our Magic Marks competition with big weekly prizes. The Sunday Sun.
It's everything you love about the Sun Plus.
Tonight, Only Human goes outback with a very different country practice.
The Royal Flying Doctor can be there in a matter of minutes.
And to Paris, can we eat as much as we like and still stay slim?
We don't care about calories.
To snoring.
This could be a major factor in marriage breakup.
Is there now a cure?
I just want to be like everyone else.
An Australian world first gives this boy's dream a chance. And teenage sexuality, an awkward awakening. Only Human, 7:30 tonight on 7.
So the bounce back in the centre, 36 points Geelong's lead. Flanagan, who dominated the ruck contests in the first half, has struggled at centre half forward for North Melbourne. Young Stevens, but Boss is there, the experienced campaigner, and Boss goes after it again. Never gives in, Mark Boss. The hand pass off to Gary Cameron. His kick up towards half forward. Stoneham can't rake it in. Buse never gives in either, Andrew Buse. Couch gets another possession. Gary Cameron pulled off the ball. Now a chance for Allison. His kick towards the centre wing area, and the mark has been taken by Ramiro. North Melbourne are a chance here. They've got players loose across half forward. The hand pass goes to Larkin. Into goal goes Matthew Larkin and misses to the right. An unfortunate miss to North Melbourne. They certainly needed a score there, as Gary Cameron is in the hands of the trainers for Geelong, back on that half forward flank. The kick in comes towards Flanagan. He gets the hand pass back to Boss. Boss, hand pass over the top. The bounce is a little awkward for Flanagan, and Schwass takes it over for a boundary throw in. There's Gary Cameron favouring his left leg. Looks as though he might have got a knock on the side of the knee.
Throw in. Ball comes underfoot. Stephen Hocking going backwards. Forward by Smith. Kick it. Spills to Smith. The defender goes for goal and kicks it.
Magnificent goal there by Smith. And the defender running up on that forward line, following the play down there. A badly needed goal for North Melbourne. You'll see they've made a change. Pickering appears to be playing on Paul Couch in the centre, and Larkin's been moved up on that forward line. So obviously John Kennedy very worried about the influence of Paul Couch on this game.
Bryce on the ground for North Melbourne. Back in the centre. And North need a couple more. Flanagan's played an outstanding game in the ruck. Bairstow across the ground. Gary Hocking leads the race here. Smith's back on his half-back flank, and he'd come up from there to kick that last goal. Hocking to centre half forward. Ablett. Oh, 3 grabs a mark.
Yeah, that was another magnificent kick by Gary Hocking on his wrong foot. Must have gone 50 metres, Bernie.
Very skillful inside Geelong when they are allowed to dictate terms. There's Gary Ablett with a great juggled mark there.
Gary Cameron limping off for Geelong. We're about to see Andrew Rogers for the first time. Ablett for his 4th goal from the wing. No problem.
Yes, Gary Ablett, a brilliant player. Tough job there for David Dwyer, picking up Gary Ablett. He's done a reasonable job on him. And here's Ablett just in better position there. Beautifully delivered ball into that Geelong forward line. And they've got so many skillful players that it makes it very difficult for the North Melbourne defenders.
So the Cats now are certainly getting some sort of cohesion into their play. They get clear again. Buse straight towards goal. Oh, Ablett nearly hooked it in, but he's hurt. Down he goes behind play. Now he picks himself up. Buse has the football outside 50, off to Bairstow, and Bairstow goes long with a drop punt kick into the square. Nearly a Geelong mark. North Melbourne get clear. Ellison takes the hand pass from McDonald. It's wide on this centre wing. McCarthy, one bounce, the ball just comes back to him, and McCarthy kicks the ball towards centre half forward, but there's no one home. Darcy takes the ball away for Geelong and kicks it wide where Bruns has 15 metres on Crocker, but the ball bounces out in front of Neville Bruns and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Gary Ablett just having a look there behind play, has recovered from that knock where he had to back into the pack, and he looks okay. The ball finishes with Couch. His kick into the centre. Flanagan takes the mark. Geelong have the numbers again. Scott's on his own at half forward. That's the direction that Flanagan goes in. Scott can't mark. He gathers the football well. Gets the hand pass off to Stoneham. Stoneham onto the left foot. The little chip pass into the pocket is pretty good. And Gary Hocking takes the mark, sliding over the boundary line. Gary Hocking is perhaps within goal-scoring distance, but the angle is very tight. A little bit of indecision there, but now he's made up his mind to go for goal. Drop punt kick. Hits the post. So Gary Hocking, who is yet to kick a goal, registers the 11th behind for Geelong. 14-11 plays 9-5, and John Law will kick the ball back into play for North Melbourne.
Kick by Law. Hepburn front of the pack. Romero. North under the hammer at the moment. The ball out of play. And straight away back up onto the attacking zone for the Cats. They lead 14-11 to 9 goals 5. Under 17 minutes left in the third quarter. Flanagan wins again. Puts it out in front of Bairstow. Good desperation dive by Romero. The ball's finished up out of play. Another throw-in. Jose Romero, a youngster in this North Melbourne team. They have 3 18-year-olds. Longmire, Romero and Stevens. Flanagan hands to it again. Comes away to Allison. Romero once more. To half-back. McCarthy leads. Beats Limner. Back to Steele. Up to centre wing. Schwass and Boss. Interesting pairing. The hand pass comes over to Wayne Schwass. Couch has got it. A little hand pass to Stephen Hocking is terrific. Hocking beats his man and goes long to half forward. Ablett. Well, Dwyer just got straight underneath the ball then. Gary Ablett to work the ball forward. Bryce gets back to take a defensive mark.
Poor effort there by Ablett. Bryce kicks wide. Crocker takes the mark in front of Bruns. And North Melbourne have made some wholesale changes. The high kick is too high. Getting that knock out there was Stoneham. Stoneham's left foot kick towards centre half forward, and another good mark taken by Bryce at centre half back for North Melbourne. At North Melbourne, you get the impression that the dam wall, there's a crack in it, and Geelong just pressing ever so hard. They lead by 6 goals. The kick back towards centre half forward. Flanagan can't mark. Taking the ball off the pack was German. He gets the hand pass away to Smith. Smith's kick up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Good gather by McCarthy. Gets the hand pass out wide. The North Melbourne forward under lots of pressure there, young Pickering. Now it gets clear. Schwash left it behind, and Geelong will get clear. The hand pass from Boss finishes up with Couch. Couch on centre wing. Drop punt kick to the front of the goal square. It's disciplined football by Geelong. Buse, magnificent play by Buse.
Touch. Well, that was bad luck for Andrew Buse, because what great strength he has, breaking away from the North Melbourne defenders, using his strength again. They just don't seem to be able to tag him at all.
Kick in by Law, a player on his own out there is Darren Crocker. He takes the mark and hand passes over the top. McDonald has the football on centre wing, and he goes up towards centre half forward with a long drop punt. North Melbourne forwards under pressure again, working hard. Bryce comes clear with the football. A left foot kick by Bryce towards goal. It's offline and it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick, I thought the goal umpire did indicate that it was out of bounds on the full, but the boundary umpire now running around to throw the ball back into play about 15 metres around from the North Melbourne goal.
Geelong leading by 37 points. Brownless wins the tap. Gary Hocking, always where it's hardest. Snap for goal by Love, was it? And a behind. Jason Love, who was an emergency, but came in to replace Mark Arsieri. Kick in is taken by Schultz. Space for Rogers. Rogers up to the wing. Boss. A poor kick by Rogers, marked by Steele. The hand pass off to German. Goal coming up to North Melbourne here. Peter German. It swings back and gets there.
Australia are proud to announce the new Holden Apollo, a whole new range of family sedans and wagons with all new 2-litre twin-cam engines. New Holden Apollo. See them at your Holden dealer now.
There are over 100 different specialist careers in the Army, and you could have one of them. Army, it'll bring out your best.
The perfect Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
This week in the Sunday Herald Colour magazine, the world's endangered animals pictured for posterity. A spectacular portfolio. Wonderful photographs you'll want to keep.
Perfect Sunday.
And in the Perfect Sunday newspaper, quiet country boy or crazy man of football, the real Tony Lockett tells all. Our man on the spot reports from the Olympic meeting in Puerto Rico, rock star Ignatius Jones' hilarious review of Andy Warhol.
Perfect Sunday with the Sunday Herald.
Quality in every drop since 1866. The very best that oil can be, so come and join the winning team. Tomorrow's oil's today. You know what I mean. Tomorrow's oil's today. Valvoline. engine running clean. So use the Grace Protector. The choice is Valvoline, Valvoline. Tomorrow's oils today. You know what I mean. Tomorrow's oils today. Valvoline.
Buy a 5-litre bottle of Valvoline XLD at any of these stores and you could become an oil millionaire. If you want an aftershave that's a winner, go for gold. Yardley Gold. The aftershave for men who like to win. Yardley Gold.
Diane Lane is Lorena Woods.
You and me.
Every cowboy's fantasy.
How did anybody pretty as her wind up in Lonesome Dove anyway?
She gave her body to any man who promised her dream.
I'm going with you when you leave.
I ain't gonna run up and leave you, Lori.
I just want to go to San Francisco. That's what I want.
But she gave her heart to the one man she could never possess.
There's none like you, Gus. She loves you. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose you.
Her story begins soon on Lonesome Dove.
12 plays 10-6. Flanagan again, who has absolutely dominated the rucks. Couch. Steele for North Melbourne. A left foot kick around the corner. The bounce in the very, very hard centre of Kardinia Park. The ball comes back to Schwash. Oh, magnificent play, Schwash. Sweeping hand pass. The ball is with Fairley. Within 35, within 30, Fairley. Kicks the goal, or did it just graze the post? It's just grazed the post. And Fairley really should have kicked that, Bernie.
Oh, that's a bad miss there by Fairley. His first miss for the afternoon. He's kicked 4 goals in the first half, and now a golden opportunity. Just gone begging there for North Melbourne.
Burke on the ground a bit earlier this time, before the 20-minute mark. And here he is in this marking contest and takes the mark. Getting rid of Paul Bryce. Kicked by Damien Burke. High to the centre of the ground. McDonald and Stoneham. Stoneham knocks to the back. Chance for Couch. Crash straight through. Good endeavour there by Law, it was. The hand pass, or a chain of hand passes, Law. Ramiro at centre half forward. Won't make the distance. One out marking contest. Punch away comes from the fence by Darcy. Longmire into Larkin. Snapped by German. German second. Second this quarter, third for the match.
Yes, Peter German, been a very busy player. Started off tagging Mark Bairstow. Has gone up on that forward line following the play and has kicked a couple of goals in this quarter, 3 for the match. Now, there's a quick hand pass by Longmire, getting it out to German, who's been a very busy player for North Melbourne.
Bernie, with a good tall ruckman at centre bounces and a key forward, North Melbourne would be a pretty good side, don't you think?
Yeah, they're not that far away, North Melbourne. They don't need too many good players, and they'd be a force to be reckoned with.
23 points, Geelong's lead. Buse, every so often, Andrew Buse just pushes himself a little bit, and he kicks towards half forward. The mark has been taken by Bruns. Geelong have the answers. Very, very skillful lineup, Geelong. Lots of goal kickers. Lots of possession gatherers around that centre bounce. Bruns' kick off the side. It's a Geelong mark. No, it's gone over the boundary line on the full. Gary Hocking took the mark, but the free kick will go back to North Melbourne. It'll be taken by Allison in that back pocket. And North Melbourne have been able to fight back in the first and second terms. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this third quarter. The mark has been taken by Stoneham. Too far out to score, Barry Stoneham. But once again, kicks it to the front of the goal square, where the goals have got to be easier to kick from. Dwyer, Lindner, caught with the football, gets it out. Steele shows desperation, gets the hand pass back to German. German's caught, but he gets the hand pass out. Law, Gary Hocking, good tough stuff by the Geelong player. And at centre half forward, the umpire calls for a bounce. The Cat fans not too happy. Obviously saw a free kick maybe to Gary Hocking.
Margin 23 points. North have kicked the last couple of goals. Soccer off the ground by Burke. Exel. Hand pass anywhere. Taken by McDonald. And he goes towards the boundary line and finds touch on the outer side between half-back and wing for a throw-in. So in the first quarter, it was Geelong were getting away, but North hit the front. Same thing happened in the second quarter. I wonder if it can happen in the third quarter after the Cats opened up a 6-goal lead. Bairstow goes to ground. No whistle for that. And the umpire's going to ball it up. Pat on the head for Anthony Stevens, the youngster, 18 years old, playing just his third game of league football. Burke. Hepburn came over the top of him. Morgan. Took a while to get rid of it. The hand pass out here from Pickering. Goes to Hepburn, back to Larkin. And here's North Melbourne on the improve. Centering kick. Big chance. Allison's there. Taken by Steele. Spins through a tackle. Gets rid of a good hand pass. The kick up towards full forward. Love is there. Open goal in front if he can pick this up. Snap. And he's hit the post.
That's the second time in the last, 3 or 4 minutes that North Melbourne have hit the post. And Love, perhaps not enough vision there.
Well, possibly, but maybe he could have done better with that kick. He had a little bit of time to steady and could have done better.
Schultz goes to the outer side, and the North Melbourne player diving there has touched the ball. And it looked as though it could have been Ramiro, so the ball will stay in that North Melbourne half-forward area. It was Stevens, actually. German's hand passes intercepted. Pickering just gets a kick to it. Good play there by German. Now Fairley gets it out to Larkin. Larkin's deep in the pocket. The left foot snap, and the mark has been taken by Darcy. Geelong have got the numbers out at half-back. The mark has been taken by Boss. Schwass a little late on the scene, and Bernie, you're indicating maybe that should have been 50 metres?
No, I wasn't. I was indicating Schwass is playing on the half-forward line. I'd like to see him playing in the centre or on the ball, where he's a very productive player.
Great mark taken by Burke. He gets the hand pass off to Couch. Couch kicks. That's his 31st possession, Paul Couch, up towards half-forward. Ablett, attempted kick off the ground. The ball rebounds to Gary Hocking. Hocking kicks it up to the goal square. Exel nearly takes the mark. Here's a goal to Scott.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
Well, Geelong led by 32 points at three-quarter time. They had to fight off North Melbourne a bit in the last quarter, but they ran out winners by 22. Exel kicked 5 goals and Ablett kicked 5. And for North Melbourne, Fairley kicked 4. German and Longmire each kicked 3 goals. Now to the results of the other games. Fitzroy and Brisbane, and the Bears have won their second game in a row, defeating Fitzroy and certainly ending their finals hopes. They won by just 13 points after leading by 51 points at three-quarter time and allowing Fitzroy to kick 6 goals to nothing in the last quarter. Hardy kicked 3, as did Taylor, and for Fitzroy, Roos, Lynch, Broderick and Strooper each kicked 2 goals. And Collingwood against Richmond. Collingwood had a win, a big win here. Starcevic kicked 3 goals for Richmond. Ryan kicked 2. Richmond most disappointing. They've kicked just 7 goals in the last 2 weeks. And to the final game, and Hawthorn and Footscray, the Hawks won it by 75 points. They led all day and just increased the margin. Jason Dunstall kicked 9 goals today, a total of 117 for the season. Brereton kicked 4, and for Footscray, O'Keefe kicked 3, and Atkins kicked 2 goals. Now to the league ladder with 1 round to go to complete the home and away series, and Hawthorn way on top again by 2 games from Essendon. Geelong in third place, having wrapped up the double chance. Melbourne and Collingwood will be playing in the elimination final in a couple of weeks' time, and Fitzroy are out of business. Carlton and the West Coast Eagles, with a game in hand, they play in Perth tomorrow. Now, we've had some reports from St Kilda supporters saying that they don't believe that we have a St Kilda mascot. St Kilda had their first win today in 11 rounds, and it's with great pleasure we can show the St Kilda mascot to prove that we have one. Geelong also won today, and here's yours as well. So there you are, all you St Kilda supporters. You might notice that tonight I'm wearing a Legacy badge. This week is Legacy Week, so buy a Legacy badge this week, lest you forget. We'll be back after the break with Scott Palmer from the Sunday Sun.
Thought any more about the new car?
Nah. No, I think I'll hold out for a Rolls Royce. Have a look at the price of this.
David, what have I been telling you?
Yeah, true.
Well?
Well, What?
The car.
Well, it's got to be big enough.
And safe, and reliable, and economical, I know. We're talking about the new Holden Apollo, right?
Even these are big Beckies now.
David?
Yeah, well, I did go and look at it. 2 litre, twin cam, heaps of room.
And it's a Holden. Dave, you know you'd love a Holden.
Yeah, it's right on the money.
There are over 100 different specialist careers in the Army, and you could have one of them. Army, it'll bring out your best.
Now, if you get the Sun, you could win the house. The Sun A.V. Jennings $150,000 Dream Home giveaway is on again. Win a block of land with your choice from Jennings' 7 top designs, all with heaps of family features and valued at $150,000. To enter, just cut out 6 Sun front page mastheads dated between now and September 9 and send them to the Sun with your name and address. Enter as often as you like. The Sun A.V. Jennings $150,000 Dream Home giveaway is on now. So get the Sun and win the house.
Where would you find Australia's largest range of home products and services? A huge range of furniture and furnishings, hundreds of new home renovation and extension ideas, building products and services galore, stacks of do-it-yourself advice, heaters and coolers, pools and spas, electrical and gas appliances, Sounds 89 Hi-Fi show, $30,000 worth of door prizes, new arts, craft and sewing exhibition, and bridal show.
That's 10 shows in one, all under one roof at the New Look Sun Home Show, on now at the Royal Exhibition Building.
Ciao, baby. That's what I adore.
Ciao, baby, when I taste it.
I want more and more.
It's real, so nutritious. Everything I need. Please don't make me wait and wait. Just pour the cat-chow in my plate. Cat-chow.
New cat-chow in 5 delicious varieties. It gives cats something to sing about.
Cat-chow.
Just a reminder about Sports World in the morning between 9 and 12, general sport and, of course, football. The panel on between 11 and 12, and one of the highlights, the voting in the State Bank Player of the Year. The winner receives $10,000.
At the end of the 89 home and away season, the player voted the State Bank Player of the Year by our Sports World panel will receive a state banking system account worth $10,000. State Bank Victoria. We never forget it's your money.
And the vote's getting pretty close to the end, so 10 grand up for the winner. Right, Scott Palmer joins us now from the offices of the Sunday Sun. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Drew.
Now, I believe a sensation today. Michael Malthouse reported?
Yes, Michael Malthouse will almost certainly appear in Ian Clayton's notebook, and the letter will be delivered to the league on Monday concerning a run-in he had with the coaches at three-quarter time at Princes Park. Mike had to walk right past the umpires. He didn't like that too much either. Obviously, words were expressed. Ian Clayton noted them down, and I think they're going to be the subject of a charge there next week. A sensation out there at Princes Park because Footscray did play well. They lost 3 players during the game, lost their running power, but Alan Jean said they were a terrific competition today, and bad luck for Mickey after all the things that have happened over the last couple of weeks at Footscray. He might have to go up before the Commission.
Gee, that'll be something to look out for during the week. Now, what about the injury to Michael Tuck? Is he going to miss finals?
Well, he's not likely to finals because this boy gets back on the track pretty easily, but he's got a bad hip injury from today. He might be in doubt for next week, and of course the week after they have a rest. Well, hopefully they have a rest, so Mike will probably be there for the finals to lead Hawks into sort of action again.
Now, at the MCG, a sensational win for St Kilda. Darryl Baldock must have been very pleased.
He said we should be in the finals and not Melbourne. He doesn't express much opinion of Melbourne. He said we've beaten them 3 out of 4 times. He said they haven't got any forward line. He said we've got as many players out through injury as they have. He said we should be there, not Melbourne, he said.
Not Melbourne.
Not Melbourne, but Ken Sheldon, of course, he played a ripper game today, and the dogs are barking that he's going to be the next coach of St Kilda, and the fact that he could take a couple of Carlton players with him and even a Hawthorn notable.
John Northey can't be too happy. They missed out on the double chance. They'll play in the elimination final.
He said it's not impossible to win from fourth, but he said we have to believe we can do it. He said if Gary Lyon could have played today, if it had been a final match, I'm pretty sure he would have loved to have had him in today because they lacked a forward line today.
And the Bears have won 2 in a row. I bet other clubs are spewing that they're going to have to give them players.
Leon Wiegard, he was bluing. You couldn't imagine what he said tonight, and we've got it all in the paper tomorrow. He said that football is running off the rails. He said this is incredible, a draft situation where Fitzroy, who lost today, has to turn around and give the Bears players. He just can't believe it. And of course, Rod Austin said that the boys have got some growing up to do down at Lionsville, and he said they didn't show their true character today when the crunch was there. Bad luck for the Lions, but Paul Feltham said 4 out of 6 games with him, terrific effort, and he said we're looking forward for next year.
Good on you, Scott. Well, thanks for that report. Look forward to the paper in the morning. Scott
Good on you,
Palmer
mate.
from the Sunday Sun. All right, that's all we have for you tonight in Saturday Night Replay. Hope you've enjoyed the action, and I'm sure the St Kilda fans will be living it up tonight after finally breaking through for a win. Good evening to you all.
Stay on 7. Coming up next, another fascinating episode of Only Human.
Difference, Melbourne lead, but it's been a pretty even contest. Melbourne with in much better form today than they've been in recent weeks. There's Billy Duckworth towards half forward. Izzard with great pace has trapped that beautifully. Good play by Alan Izzard towards half forward. Somerville overruns it. Now here's John Barnes, the youngster. Taps it on to Michael Long. Clever kick around the corner. And that was great play by Long. And he found Antrobus about 45 metres out from goal. Well, that was a very clever little kick, that by Long. Let's see if Antrobus can kick truly. Well, it's a good-looking drop punt straight through the middle.
Yes, and Antrobus kicks his second goal. But unbelievable skills, Michael Long on the wing. Tremendous pace. He'd be one of the quickest players playing the game. And very good delivery when he gets rid of the ball as well. Antrobus kicking there from about 40 metres out. An excellent kick for goal.
So the Bombers back in front. Essendon leading by 3 points. Madden slightly in the middle. That's helped up the ground by Rode. First back there is Walsh. Always looks awkward, Kevin Walsh, but represented Victoria. He's lost it here. Comes to Spalding. Great hand pass to Campbell. Back to Spalding. Earl Spalding, oh, shocking effort. But luckily onto the chest of Steins for a mark.
He was very fortunate there to get away with that. And Peter Cameron telling Anthony Nano that it was bad luck. But Earl Spalding, good play, good running player. He's very mobile for a player of his size.
So there'll be another change of the lead here. Stein's goal puts Melbourne back in front.
That's Jimmy's first goal. Just a little bit too much overuse of the handball there, Peter, though I think they went one too many. And Earl Spalding, who is usually a very good kick on the left foot. Kevin Walsh, who was well tackled there. Tremendous tackle there by Todd Viney. A hand pass there from Campbell back to Earl Spalding. And very fortunate for Melbourne. Jimmy Stein's playing in